So I'm excited to introduce our last solo speaker today. Dr. Chris Miller was actually a classmate of mine in residency, so don't hold that against him. And he, unlike me, who's still a lowly assistant professor and assistant medical director, progressed through his career rapidly because he's currently the chair of emergency medicine at Case Western, correct? And is here to talk about recruiting residents. And I'm going to be sitting up here doing some computer stuff for him, but I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Miller.
Thanks, Carolyn. Can you guys hear me okay? So Dr. Lovett gave a great talk last hour, and I'm going to violate pretty much everything that she said you should do when you revolutionize your conference time. And you remember the slide that she had that said what works and what fails? My one disclosure is that I'm a technophobe, but I'm going to try some poll everywhere stuff, and it may just be an epic fail, so bear with me. But today, are you guys losing airspeed and altitude? Are you ready to be done? Are you going to, right? Are you going to, like half the room is gone, so. I think, yeah, right? I think days like today, I have team members all scattered throughout here, so they're going to make fun of me later, but days like today are kind of good for the soul. You've had a lot of good presentations. You've had a lot of information. You've drunk from the fire hose a little bit today, and so I'm going to try to just sort of put it on cruise control and take it home and give you some time to do this, right? So there was an English author named Samuel Johnson who once said, sometimes people just need to be reminded, they don't need to be instructed. And so hopefully over the next 40 minutes, I'll give you some reminders, because you all know this. And it will give you a chance to think and talk. One other quick disclaimer is at the tables, everybody at the same shop, like are the Metro residents sitting together, and are the UH residents sitting together, and et cetera, et cetera? All right, cool. All right. So hopefully, as a task-driven audience, you understand that you are about to start a year where you are going to be on overdrive for 13 to 14 months. And so you're going to be very task-oriented, you're going to be very task-driven, and recruitment is no different, you might think, than any other task, but I'm going to try to convince you that it is probably your most important task of your chiefdom. I have no idea why Carolyn, who you guys want to know some stories about Carolyn? Asked me to talk specifically about recruiting. Maybe it's because I have to convince the people standing up against the wall to come to Believe Land. We'll just leave it at that. All right. One thing I would argue for you is this. When you have an audience and you're recruiting, they're going to see the 2 of you, the 3 of you, the 4 of you, whatever size comprises your respective chief residency group as a team. They will expect you to be unified. They will observe you very, very closely. So remember this. Craft a strategy as a team and execute it. All right. If you've got a laptop, go to that website. If you've got a phone, do whatever it is you do on the phone. And we're going to try the first poll, which is very simple. How do you feel? Huh? Oh, flip back.
It's still at the top. Respond,
It's at the
poll
top.
everywhere. See right up here. How to do it is the same.
So are you a smiley emoji? Or do you, yeah, right? That's what I thought. Whose head is in the way? Okay. Yeah. Scooch down, dude. Just gotta, scooch. Are you happy? Are you pensive? Are you rolling your eyes? Or do you really just want to get to the bar and be done with the entire day? So it's working.
Yep.
Wonders never cease. This is truly a miracle. All right, who's rolling their eyes? I bet I could pick them out, but I won't say. All right, let's go forward. Have you ever stopped and thought about when we were all medical students, how we basically in our profession have completely turned over our future to other people, right? You don't choose your medical school, you try to. You don't choose your residency, though you try to. It's not until you finish that you actually get a chance to govern your own path. And so you're about to interact and represent your program to a whole host of young men and women who are taking one big chance, right? And their fate is in the hands of a computer algorithm. And it's not like this is a supply, this is standard supply and demand. We have more applicants than we have slots. So there is a competition for talent. And that's our numbers right there, our specialty. 220 programs, lots of positions, and we fill. We are popular. So we are going to compete against each other for students. But have you ever thought about what the students want, what they seek, what they expect of you as chiefs, what they prioritize as applicants? And have you thought about how to potentially reimagine the message, which is recruitment isn't about you. It's not about, I would argue, somewhat heretically, about your program. It's about the person that you're trying to reach, to get them to understand that you are there to be their advocate if they come to your program. Does that make sense? Have you ever thought about it that way? It's a little bit flipped. But I think as you and your team begin to think about what you're going to do for your dog and pony show, as we all like to call it, think about how you could reframe it. Think about how you can make it a little bit more student-centric and applicant-centric. And if you think about the team comment, you think about reimagining, your prospective residents will see this. They'll see this. All right. Next poll. This one you have to go to the website for, because you have to rank. So there is data. I'm going to give you a little science. No emergency medicine talk is worth its salt unless there's a little bit of science.
So here's the website here at the top.
Go to that, and it's a little. You'll see a little slider thing, and I want you to rank what students feel is important to the program that they want to join, right? What is their top priority? We'll give this a second. We'll see. Yeah, top is highest.
Poll is full.
Poll is full. Okay. Interesting. So, location, fit, education, morale, interview day experience, and job opportunities. Okay? You want to see the data? Have you guys seen this data before? All right, flip it back. You cannot read this slide. I know this. Right? I know this. See, I tried to be cool and put a little hashtag in there too. Right. Stop it. I hear you. The NRMP surveys applicants every year. This is the most recent in totality responses to the things that matter to prospective residents. This is across all specialties. This is not exclusive to emergency medicine, but here's the biggies. In order, right? So you were asking, top to bottom. Fit, location, quality of residence, interview day experience, yada, yada. All of these received a Likert score of over 4.5. Look at this list. What do you control as chiefs? Do you control goodness of fit? I think you, in a way, I think you can, if you think about how you frame your recruitment, this will come out. Do you control location? Nope. Do you control the quality of residents in your program? You control how that message is delivered, right? The one thing you control 100% is the number 4 thing. It's the experience during the interview day, right? And remember this, more and more, you're not just recruiting the person that's sitting in front of you. You're recruiting their significant other, their spouse, their kids, et cetera, et cetera. And that's the data over the last, 35 years or whatever that shows that's just couples match. So how do you differentiate, right? How do you make yourself, I live in a town where we have 2 programs, where the Boston group has, 18 programs within a square mile of each other. Los Angeles has a few, right? So how do you differentiate? And my team doesn't know this, but I'm going to tell them right now. If I hear, oh, they're pretty cool, I like hanging out with them at 2 a.m. on the middle of a shift, my anterior communicating artery aneurysm will explode. Because that's you fitting somebody into your culture and not the other way around. The 2 a.m. is not a signature experience. That question is about, I think I would like to have a beer with that person. I think I would like to hang out with that person. It's not really about how that person fits with your team. And so I want to take a few minutes, and this is the interactive, you want to do small group stuff, right? This is where we're going to do small group stuff. And I want you as a team to talk about this. And I'm curious, by a show of hands, have you ever had a conversation about your program that really, really quantifies what your culture is? Raise your hand if you have. 1 person, 2 people. Why not? Why haven't you had this discussion? This might be the most important thing as you embark upon the task that is recruitment inherent to your chiefdom. How are you going to message your culture? Because you are this. You've heard things today. I came in a little bit towards the middle at lunch. And you've heard how you are the face of your residency program to all of the other departments in your hospital. But you are also the ambassador for your program's culture, whether it is during recruitment, whether it's at a GMEC meeting, et cetera, right? So how do you do this? All right, take 7, or you ready for the make fun of Miller Wordle joke? So Ryan's sitting in the back and he goes, dude, are you going to do one of those Wordle things again? And I don't think Wordles are cool anymore, but go here. It will generate a word cloud. I know, for real. And I want you to define your program's culture in 1 or 2 words. Just type it in. 1 or 2 words.
Want me to flip over? Want me to flip over?
Yeah, go ahead. 1 or 2 words. Cool is probably not a good descriptor. Awesome, not probably a good descriptor. Oh, wow. Liberal. I don't really know what ass bad means. Something tells me this table may have done that. I don't know. Maybe not. All right. So think about this. Let's just look at this for a second, right? I'm not really sure who put in C. Miller 421, but okay, whatever. Family, right? That's important. Diversity, that's important. All of these things are great, but I'm going to challenge you over the next 7 minutes. Sit with your team. How do you message that you're a family? How do you message that you're diverse? How do you deliver that to a group of people who have submitted their life to an algorithm, right? It's December. They're tired. They have seasonal affective disorder. They don't know what city they're in. Right? Every program looks the same. So I would challenge you that you have to be different. You have to come up with a plan that not just engages the student, but has them walking away going, wow, that was a different experience. That was a signature experience. So, if you can flip back, Carolyn. Take 7, I don't know how many minutes we have, 5 minutes, talk to each other about your culture, be honest with each other about your culture, and go from there.